This is where the tent was. Right. There's a batten, as you can see at the back wall there. That's been taken down. Right. This is part of the sheeting that was at the base. There. There's all big canopies. There's bag over there which I was using as insulation because of the winter. I've got insulation in. So I brought it over and I was like the outside of the tent and that, well, yeah, around the thing of the outside and that, where the canopy was like insulating, and that's what that was over there, them black bags. But this is where I was here, both times. Right, and I was sitting here because the pipeline runs underneath it. If you walk down to the bottom end through, there is a natural walk through here that I made and other people have made over the years, but it looks like they haven't been using it. But you can smell gas down there, so obviously leaking. But this is where the thing, yeah, they dug me a pit as well. I used to keep warm there in the winter. I first sat in 2009, on the 1st of January 2009, and on the 30th of April I was called away from my property to where I was living. I was living in King Street at the time, in a block which had a number of residents, and a young lady had called me up for assistance, and I'd gone up there and helped out. Decided to stay the night because of the people that were involved. When I came down here the following morning, and my tent was burned. But it had been set alight only a couple of hours before I'd arrived here. Somebody had seen it burning from over the houses over there and reported it. So the fire was put out then, and then I sat again in 2013 on the 30th of January, carrying on from the 30th when I left on the 2009. I stayed here until the 14th of August, that 2013. St Modwyn took me to court to evict me from the site on the 8th of August. I attended the court hearing, and the judge was saying that he was going to give them the right to evict. I told him that if he gave them the right to evict, right, and gave them an eviction notice, then he was proving to me that he was prepared to work with corrupt corporates. Therefore, he was corrupt. My tent was burnt on the 14th. On the 15th, I came down here with Sentinel reporter, and two people from St Modwyn were on the site. I approached them, and they were standing over where we'd just been. Right. I approached them as I walked on, and they shot off. Right. As they were walking the land, I'm shouting fire starters, well, the tune Fire Starters. So they knew exactly what a thingy. But the point I'm making by saying this, if St Modwyn were on the land, showing their intent of reoccupying the land on the 15th, right, in conjunction with a court order, then as soon as I had stepped foot on the land, I was the one that should have been approached, served with this eviction notice, and told to vacate the land. I wasn't. Therefore, I know that St Modwyn didn't obtain an eviction notice. Otherwise they would have served it and put the matter to rest. Therefore, my adverse possession claim that I'm taking from the 1st of January, because I haven't been evicted legally, continues, even though I've had to leave the land because I had to leave through by other means because me tent and everything had been destroyed by fire. So my adverse possession is still continuing. Now, when I sat and claimed adverse possession, I didn't do it for my own, to gain myself. I did it because land was being taken from the people without their knowledge. The media, the Sentinel, right, and in particular the Sentinel, right, have lied, have, cheated the people out of information that they should have been fed as regards this land. Right? Therefore, they're corrupt. So, right, we can't believe or we can't trust them in anything we say to them or do within the city that's going to be reported right. Right? Same with the Fenton Town Hall. Right? There was an action in Fenton Town Hall that I took part in. The Sentinel were calling the people squatters. We weren't squatters, we were taking action against a corrupt government, right? Because the people that were holding the land, or holding the building, right, was the Ministry of Justice, who happened to come, right, in possession of the land through Acts of Parliament. So if Acts of Parliament, right, and everything else can take land away from the people, then we know that they are corrupt. Okay? I'm sorry, mate. It's me, I'm getting excited. Right. I did a lot of writing to the council. I objected to the planning application that St Morion had put in, right, to obtain an outline planning application for the development of the land. I was the only one that objected to it. Right. They were given the outline planning application. They are now saying that they can't develop on the land because a serious risk to flooding. Right, well, when was the last time that the Victoria ground was flooded? When was the last time that Stoke was flooded? In fact, and besides, right, it's all sitting in Corbett, the River Trent. And if the Victoria ground was recognised as a part of the land as an island, right, and taken off the floodplain risk because the natural cutting had been done away with, where's the risk of flooding? The same on the other side of the River Trent. The only risk of flooding that we got on the other side of the River Trent is if somebody blocked up the spring flow. Right? Nobody's going to do that, because it did not only flood this land here, but it flood the P500 to go right, to cause a lot of damage. It was a long process. That for me when I decided to take action, the final straw wasn't what the council were doing, even though I was prepared to do it because of that. My main reason for doing it is because my family were all against it as well. And it seems that everybody around the area, right, is afraid of standing up. Right? I'm not a sheep, not like the rest of them, right? If they can't stand up and fight for something which has got an association with a football club they once supported, or it's got an association within the community which they live, right? If they can't stand up for that, then they're sheep. Right? I'm not. I'm somebody that's prepared to stand up, to fight against the bullies, and to take action, right, for something that, well, would raise the identity of the city, not only the town. It would become a gateway, right, entering into the city off the A500. And that's the reason I did it. You know, because the people needed to know, right, and because they weren't taking action, right, somebody had to. And that's why I did it. I can carry on with my adverse possession and the title deeds that can come into my hands. But then, what are the people going to do? Once they go, oh, well, you've got the land now. You know, well, yeah, but what have you done? If you've done jack shit, expect jack shit. But I don't want to do that. I want these to stand up. I want them to cast off the sheep's clothing and to actually make a stand. Because if they don't, then their future generation will have fuck all to thank them for. Have nothing to thank them for. I was physically here. I was physically here every night. Apart from the times when the thinking now, the first time I thought it was planned. Right? It might have been, but I can't prove that. Right? The second time, it's happened in daytime. It was tea time. I'd come from Stoke. I'd come over to my tent to find that it had been destroyed, all slashed, all my tent had been slashed, my sleeping bag was all bloody ripped, the quilts, they were all bloody thingy like, all bloody shredded. They got a knife on it, you know, obviously. I was fuming, and I went down to my mates over there, Dave and Sue. And I'm sitting with Dave and Sue, and I'm talking to them, and suddenly Dave says, "Where's the smoke coming from?" I looked out of the door, because it was summer's day, the door was open. Looked out of the door, I said, "It's my tent." And I shot across, and within the time of me coming across here, it was all ablaze. So, it was obvious that somebody was watching. Police were called, fire brigade were called, and they put out the fire. People had assembled around because some of them had seen the fire and the smoke and that, and one of the kids, well, a couple of the kids were worried, who lived over there, that I was still in my tent. So we came across and we were talking on Booth Old Road there. I discovered from these people who'd come from Salween Street and others, that was a couple of strange people that were over behind the houses of Salween Street, looking through the railings, right, in vis jackets, right, that day. So I informed the police. I discovered somebody had got a CCTV, right, cameras outside the house. He picked up these two people on the camera. Of course, he'd I'd look through it, see if they'd shown themselves on the camera line. I informed the police who got the video, right? I informed the police about these people who'd seen them. The police didn't even investigate. So it says to me that we've got a corrupt judicial system where this land is concerned. But the judge didn't dare to cross me, otherwise he would have given him eviction notice. People know me around here. I knew I was hoping I wasn't going to get a bad response from the community. Some people I've had a rough and tumble with, but not a lot. So I think they were respecting my actions, but their actions failed what I was doing, because they didn't make more of a vocal protest, right, against the land how it is, and supporting what I was saying. because the media wasn't reporting what I was saying, then they were left in the dark. To a lot of extent, or well, a lot of the people were left in the dark because I was telling others, and I hoped that they were spreading the word, but yeah, but because the media weren't saying that, you know, telling them the truth, you know, they said, because people have said to me, you know, you was evicted from the Victoria Ground. No, I wasn't. Well, it says here in the Sentinel that you were evicted from the Victoria Ground, that you'd have been to court and you were served with notice and you were evicted. I says, no. I says, my tent was burned. I says, you've seen the evidence my tent was burned. Now, if I'd have been evicted legally, then St Modwyn would have been spreading it all over the paper, right, showing the notice that we'd received, you know, of me being evicted. It is our land, right, stay off. Which is what they're doing, they've fenced it all off, right, saying it's our land. Right. You've got the title deeds, and I'm saying again, have a look through these, right, from what I've said, right, you will see that how this land is supposed to be fenced. And it states that that road there supposed to have access to the Victoria Ground from Booth and Old Road, and it's supposed to be fenced. They're separating it off from that land. But like I say, corrupt acts have taken place. It's all being done behind closed doors, right? And the people know nothing. The media know, right? And they're not telling the people anything. Martin Tideswell, and I'll mention his name, he's the editor of the Sentinel, right? I've sat and had a meeting with him and told him everything that I know. He hasn't printed anything. I've shown him the title deeds and I've shown him everything that what I'm saying. They can access this information through the land registry like that. They most probably have, and they most probably know what I'm saying is correct, which is why they're not wanting to print it. You know, I knew adverse possession was 10+2. That after 10 years, I informed the land registry that I've claimed adverse possession of this land, right, from the 1st of January 2009, right, because they know that I've been protesting, right, so inform them and tell them that I'm claiming adverse possession, right. Within them 2 years then, right, the land registry have to investigate and thing, you know, to then hand the land over to me. Within the first 2 years of me sitting, so by 2011, right, even though my tent was burnt, my first tent in 2009 was burnt, and I didn't resit on here until 2013, they should have served me with an eviction notice. As soon as they knew that I'd made a stand and stated I was claiming adverse possession, even though I had to leave the land by other means, and it states in the title deeds that if you do have to leave the land by other means once you're claiming adverse possession, right, without an eviction, right, by the landowner, then your adverse possession continues. Alright, so they should have served me with an eviction notice within 2 years. They didn't. They attempted to serve me with an eviction notice in 2013. It's obvious they didn't get one. Therefore, my adverse possession is still continuing today, right, from 2009, the 1st of January. I was expecting to stay there for 10+2, 12 years. I was prepared to do it. The people knew I was prepared to do it, right? Even though they were saying I was stupid. Right? Oh, I wouldn't do that, bloody nuts you are. Well, people know that I've always put my head you know, or myself into situations where others fear to put themselves. You know, I've done it, proved it. Once I'd thawed out in the cold parts of it, it'd be up. Breakfast, and I'd put the kettle on first while I was still in the sleeping bag. You know, that'd be the first thing that went on, mate, honestly. A bit of heat in the tent so I could think like, you know, a bit of washing that. I used to have a shower of that over at Dave and Sue's. So I'd got facilities where I could shower in that. And they've been very good, them two people. You know, but I was up, breakfast, and out and about. You know, when I first moved on here in 2009, I cleansed the land. I went around and got all the rubbish, right, and I piled it up over at the far end, right, and the council come down one day and I put it all outside the other side of the gates, and the council come down one day and removed it all, right. Mike Herbert came down. It was the first time they came down with a Sentinel, and he dropped a fibre. I know he must think I'm stupid. This media must think I'm stupid, right? And they had me doing over there with a little bit, taking photographs. The Sentinel did when Herbert had gone, and I was picking up little bits of paper, and underneath a crisp packet was a £5 note. Nice one, Mike. It brought me a few gas canisters. Plonky. No, I'm thinking I'm on the sick. I suffer post-traumatic stress and chronic anxiety. This doesn't help.
No.
I'm slept last night. You know, I spoke to you yesterday. I had my granddaughter last night. She went back this morning, but I couldn't sleep last night because it was all going through my head, right, about what's going to happen today. Panic, you know, well, not panic, but stress. And that's how it was last night. But I'm like that a lot of the times. You know, even when I was here, couldn't sleep all, you know, at night time very good. You know, I'll have a couple of hours sleep and then I'm up, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, raring to go. You know, but it does take a lot out of you. It's very, very strained, you know, very stressful, energy consuming. There was people from within the community that were coming across, you know, they were chatting, and when I seen them in the town, they knew who I was. There's people that come across here with food. People have been dropped, you know, some people I've known come across and I've been here. I've come back at times when I've been out in the daytime, come back and found a bag or a couple of bags, right, of stuff that's here. The first time when I was here, it's like I say, there's a few people I've got a rucksack full of food, right. I'd got my own money to buy the food, right, but people have brought off, like, you know, suits and things like that in order, you know, to help me. The rucksack went missing. It wasn't torched within the thingy. Me boots that I'd obtained, right, them went as well, because there was no remains of, like, hardback boots. Right, now, you know, it just wouldn't go up. They'd be there. They'd be charred remains. Right. Other information, title deeds and everything else like that, again, had gone missing, right, because they were in a plastic folder like this. Right, now, plastic folder would have remained, you know what I mean? Wasn't there. So we had to go and obtain the title deeds again, which was fortunate, really, because when I went back to the land registry and obtained the title deeds, on the 8th of January, I sat on the 1st of January to claim adverse possession. On the 8th of January, the title deeds had been put into the hands of Barclays Bank Limited. And that is where they remain today. They still remain there. Now, why would that be? Is that for protection? because somebody was claiming adverse possession. You know, Barclays are corrupt. We know Barclays are corrupt, along with the other wankers. You know what I mean? They're all the same. Politicians, parasites. You know, well, half of them are reptilians. You know, from outer space. But
I wrote lunch. They sent me you. I sent my juice. You give me poison. I on the line. You found the cue. Try and think hard. Is anything else you can do? When the urge, I've not been trained. I can sit and stand. Beg and roll over. I don't read. I just guess. There's more than one sign, but it's getting less. And you were wet, but you're getting drier. You used to speak the truth, but now you're liar. You used to speak the truth, but now you're clever. And I wrote a note, and they sent me you, and I sent my juice. You give me poison, I on the line. You found the cue. Try and think hard, there's nothing else you can do. And you were wet, but you're getting drier. You used to speak the truth, but now you're clever. You used to speak the truth, but now you're clever. And when it's hot, you start to melt. 'Cause you're not made of gin, you're made of chocolate. And when it's cold, you tend to crack. You keep on piling out, not putting back. And I wrote a note, and they sent me you, and I sent my juice. You give me poison, I on the line. You found the cue. Try and think hard, is there anything else you can do? And you were wet, but you're getting drier. You used to speak the truth, but now you're clever. You used to speak